The WASZP All-Stars Invitational is here, and this is the pinnacle of dinghy foiling. Bringing together the very best WASZP sailors from across the globe, the All-Stars is where the sport's elite go head-to-head, pushing the limits of speed, skill, and precision. All for a prize purse worth 10 grand US. 8 nations represented, 16 of the best invited. 8 men racing the 8.2 rig, 8 women set for the 7.5. In the men's fleet, the lineup is stacked. Andrew Chisholm from Canada, Hippolyte Gruet from France, Flynn Olsen from New Zealand, Spain's Pablo Astiadrain, Gavin Ball of the USA, Nick Schuler of Germany, Alexander Gronus representing Switzerland, and Louis Tilley from Australia. The women's fleet is equally solid. Louise Metenier of France, Julia Gebhard from Germany, Australia's Bridget Conrad, Pearl Latanzi of the USA, Liv Hagstrom of Sweden, Spain's Sol Lopez Navarro, and Canada's Grace Poole. The stage, Pensacola, Florida.
It's really exciting to be here. Qualified in December, which was super exciting, and just to be here amongst all these incredible sailors is fabulous.
Everybody in this fleet, we train together and we're all friends, so it's really fun to be sailing together.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, you know, a lot of moments where you go from first to last, and you can go from last to first too.
Home to the American Magic America's Cup team and newly announced SailGP training base, Pensacola is the hottest foiling venue in the world right now, and the perfect arena for the next generation of high-performance sailing. The format, predominantly sprint racing, designed to push athletes to the edge. Tight courses, high speeds, close calls. Boats flying at up to 30 knots, threading through compact racetracks that demand total control and absolute precision, all whilst muscles are burning and athletes are getting pounded by the spray. At the heart of it all is the SailGP style course, but shorter, a fan favourite. A reaching start, boats launching off the line at full speed, a bear away into Mark 1, a short downwind to a split gate, back upwind, around the top mark once more, and a final sprint to the finish. There's no room for error, and no safety net.
I think it's great. The short course format is really fun to do, and it really tests all the sailors.
Because in the All-Stars, every race counts. No discards. One mistake can define your regatta. And with a $10,000 US prize pot on the line, $5,000 each for the men's and women's champions, the pressure is very real.
Having that prize money as a reward for the winner, it's a really good motivation.
It really puts a bit more pressure, I guess, on the competitors, and it's something more than just the trophy at the end of the regatta.
Day 1 saw light conditions, testing the limits of dinghy foiling. Sailors balancing right on the edge of staying airborne. But when the breeze built, Pensacola Bay came alive. In the men's fleet, it was Gavin Ball of the USA who led the charge. Despite an early disqualification for a false start, Ball showed exactly why he's a 3-time WASZP America's champion and former SailGP Inspire champion, finishing the day on top with 29 points. Hot on his heels was Louis Tilley of Australia on 31. Fresh off his Asia-Pacific title and already building a reputation as one of the sport's rising stars. And in third, France's Hippolyte Gruet, a seasoned veteran and world number 3. In the women's fleet, Pearl Latanzi of the USA, the reigning world champion, sprint champion and Asia-Pacific champion, delivered a commanding performance, leading on 20 points after 9 races. Behind her, Canada's Grace Poole on 23 and Australia's Bridget Conrad in third.
Yeah, it took a while to get the races underway. It was a bit light at the start, but in the end we got a good breeze and 9 races. So yeah, it was a pretty shifty but good day.
Then came day 2. More breeze, more speed, more pressure. A masterclass in dinghy foiling, tight racing, foiling tacks, foiling jibes, split-second decisions in the most demanding conditions. In the men's fleet, the leaderboard shifted. Gruet dropped off the podium, replaced by Spain's Pablo Astiadrain, last year's World Championship runner-up and a standout talent from the Spanish Swarm. But the battle for the title came down to 2, Louis Tilley and Gavin Ball. Race after race, they traded blows. And in the final moments, it was Tilly who delivered, with 2 race wins to close the series, whilst Ball finished 4th in both. There was only a single point separating them at the end.
It's pretty tricky to get a good start out, especially with the variable conditions out there, because it just makes it so hard to pick a good time to head back to the line or to, pick up on the foils.
Tension peaked with a protest between the two, a moment that could have changed everything. But after review by the officials, the result stood, and Louis Tilly was crowned the 2026 WASZP All-Stars champion. In the women's fleet, consistency reigned. Bridget Conrad secured 3rd, Grace Poole took 2nd, but at the top, untouchable Pearl Latanzi winning by 9 points. A dominant performance from one of the best foiling sailors in the world today.
Oh, that was so good. Really, really close racing. I think at the end, Bridget came back and sailed really well today. Sol, Grace, everyone. So yeah, it was really fun racing and really enjoyed it. It was a good fight.
The WASZP All-Stars Invitational has set a new benchmark. This is not just another regatta. This is the pinnacle of dinghy foiling. The event every young sailor is aiming for. The stage where reputations are made and where the title of All-Star means everything. Because being an All-Star is a badge of honour, and being the All-Stars champion means you are the best foiling sprint sailor in the world. And this is just the beginning. The WASZP All-Stars will return at the end of 2026. Bigger, faster, even more competitive. The best of the best going head-to-head once again. So the question is, who will rise next?